let's talk about this Huckabee thing, because it really is crazy. And, you know, I have to say, like, I don't pay that much attention to this stuff, but I was listening to, I don't know what show it is. It's a local show on WABC in New York. And they were going nuts on this, obviously in favor of Huckabee. But it is so fascinating. Just like what the Republican, they actually think that, like, you know, Huckabee's plan is this is going to help him get into the debates, because if he says something that maligns Obama and sounds, do we have the clip of Huckabee? Of what he said?
Good Morning America.
No,
the original comment was verbal. Was over. Was for Breitbart.
For Breitbart, and in the original comment, Huckabee says, he said that the Iran deal was idiotic. Now, everybody can have their own opinion about the Iran deal, but he said that President Obama ultimately, quote, will take the Israelis and march them to the door of the oven. Now, a lot of people are focusing on how offensive it is to Holocaust survivors or to Jews or to the memory of the Holocaust to use it in this analogy. Very few people, it seems to me, are recognizing exactly what he's saying here. He's saying Obama is Hitler. Who was it that walked the Jews to the ovens? Well, the Nazi guards. Literally. But broadly speaking, it's Hitler. And of course, because everybody but Trump in the Republican Party are serious candidates, the way to get your poll numbers up in the Republican Party, which is a serious party, is to say that President Obama is Hitler. And so then he goes on the Today Show, and just to give you a sense of like what is going on in the Republican Party, there's no like, hey, I was a little bit over the top in that explanation. No, he realizes I've struck gold. I just won the lottery, man. Here he is on the Today Show.
Governor Mike Huckabee joins us now. Governor, good to see you. Good morning.
Thank you, Matt. Great to be here.
It seems to me the irony here is you're taking a pro-Israel stance, but in explaining that stance, you have offended people in Israel and Jews all around the world.
Hardly.
Hardly.
Yeah, pause it for a second. You know what else he's done? He called the president Hitler. You moron. This is just part of how the establishment refuses to acknowledge that Donald Trump's not the only moron in this race. Let's make this about how this is an offense to the Jews. He just said that President Obama's like Hitler for signing this deal with Iran. Can we take the crayons out of his hand and tell him to get off the set now?
The United States calls your words inappropriate. Some fellow Republicans have called them offensive and outrageous, and the Anti-Defamation League spokesperson called them completely out of line and unacceptable, and you're not backing down an inch.
Not at all. In fact, the response from Jewish people has been overwhelmingly positive. The response from Holocaust survivors, from the children of Holocaust survivors. I was last night in an event. I was probably one of 4 Gentiles in the entire event. It was a Jewish event. People were overwhelmingly supportive.
But
and Matt, here's why.
From people who are saying just the opposite.
You're hearing from the ADL. You're hearing from the Democrats.
We're hearing from people who, by the way, like you, oppose the Iran nuclear deal.
Well, and some of them just need to go back and read what the Iranians themselves said. They said, we have developed the missiles that will replace Israel with a big Holocaust. That's their words.
But that's their words.
Yes,
Why would a presidential candidate echo those words? Let me ask you this.
Yes.
If you're elected president, and you are the one negotiating with the Iranians in the future, would you stand in the Oval Office and address the American people and say, my fellow Americans, I'm rejecting the Iranian deal because it will march the Israelis to the door of the oven? Would you say that?
Pause it. But here's the upshot that Matt Lauer is missing. That Mike Huckabee could sit across from his Iranian counterpart and say, hey, we both agree Obama's like Hitler. I don't understand why this is so hard for someone like Matt Lauer, and not just Matt Lauer, any of them, to understand. You're talking to a joke. You're talking to a carnival barker. Put Donald Trump on the entertainment page. Put Mike Huckabee there. Put them all there.
President of the United
Matt,
States.
here's exactly what I would say. I would say we don't trust people who have threatened to kill Israel, threatened to wipe them off the map, who have said that they are glad that they're congregated in Israel because it makes it an easy target and that they are a one-bomb country.
As President of the United States, would you use the words, march the Israelis to the door of the oven?
Yes, I would. And let me tell you why. Because I have been to Auschwitz 3 times. I have stood at that very place. I've been to Israel dozens of times. My first trip there was 42 years ago. The one thing I am absolutely assured of is that for 6,000 years, Jews have been hunted down. And the last time the world did not take seriously threats against the Jewish people, just before World War II, this ended up in the murder of 6 million Jews.
But as President of the United States, you would use words to express your policy and your views on Israel, even if they offend.
What the frick is Matt Lauer going for here? He just said yes. You didn't have a follow-up question to that? Like, are you two? He just keeps asking the same question. He already said yes. He said yes, I'll use those same words. Get it through your head. These people are jokes. They're not serious individuals. If you dare to call Donald Trump a joke, then you have to say the same thing about Mike Huckabee.
I would actually say Donald Trump might be saner than Mike Huckabee.
It's possible. Go ahead.
Ended millions of Jews around the world.
Matt, we need to use strong words when people make strong threats against an entire group of people, as the Iranians have made toward the Jews.
Pause it, because we know how effective strong words are. In fact, I have stitched together my strong words and have created what will function as an iron dome around Israel. A word dome. It will be a word dome. A word dome. Word dome for short. And I just need to get on 2 more national morning shows, and I will have generated enough strong words to protect millions of lives, Matt. And isn't Donald Trump absolutely crazy?
This is not empty talk on the part of the Iranians. This is something that they consistently say, even as we're sitting down having a negotiation with them, and they're crying out death to America. My gosh, what kind of negotiation is that?
Answer the critics, Governor, who's...
There you go. Answer the critics. Shut up. Unbelievable. They should all have whatever license Matt Lauer has. Any certificates or whatever it is, that should be removed. We should be coming for those. I'm sorry. I will say it again. They're all buffoons. They're all buffoons.